supporting cast. Eric, the first one we had was Eric. He's 18 years old. He's one of the Dauntless leaders. His origin was year two. During his initiation, he was the rival of Tobias because Tobias got a higher rank than him that year. So ever since then, he's held a grudge against Tobias. During the Dauntless takeover, he tried to shoot Tobias, but that didn't work out. They shot him in the foot, and he's still alive to this day. The second one is Max. His faction is Dauntless. His age is unknown. He's still a leader, and we don't know his origins, but it's presumed to be Dauntless. He led the initiates off the landing platform. He was a leader that made the training more competitive and brutal. Tori was the one who took Triss's aptitude test. She's still alive. She's still alive to this date, and she came from Eritrea. Uri was a good friend from Triss. He first appears in the Capture the Flag game when 4 puts them on the same team. On the way back, he by accident squirted a paintball at Triss's face. Edward is factionless now, but his origin was Eritrea, but he was one of the Dauntless transfers. During initiation, he was stabbed in the eye with a butter knife, forcing him and his girlfriend to become factionless. He was stabbed in the eye by Peter. Tobias Eden is in Dauntless now, and he's 18. He's instructor of the Dauntless transfers and helps Triss train. Later on, he's proven to be her love interest and also to be Divergent. Jean Matthews is from Eritrea. She's the main leader of Eritrea, and the main villain. She created the serum and used it to control Dauntless, but she made a new one to control Divergence and used it on 4, and it worked temporarily. Will was in Dauntless, but he became friends with Al, Triss, and Christina, but he wouldn't like to be. The reason he did that was because he was planning to become friends with Edward, but he didn't want to be a third wheel during the initiation. But Triss killed him during the takeover in self-defense. Christina was friends with Triss, and she will always argue with Will, but then they started dating. Alfred transferred to Dauntless along with Peter, and Al had a crush on Triss, but she rejected him, which led to his depression, betrayal, then eventually his suicide. Andrew, Natalie, and Caleb Pryor are all Triss's family. Caleb is Triss's brother. He transferred to Eritrea during the takeover. They were reunited, and they tried to save the rest. They tried to shut down the control. Andrew is Triss's father, who was one of the government leaders. During the takeover, he was killed by a Dauntless soldier. Natalie is Triss's mother. She is Dauntless born. Her love for her daughter is shown when she saves the tank. She saves her from the water tank, sacrificing herself to be killed so Triss could live. Marcus is Flora's father and friends with Andrew Pryor. That's the only reason he helped Triss. He is said to Tobias says that he is said to be abusive, and he is one of Flora's fears. Peter stabbed Edward during the initiation, but he also attacked Triss and friends many times. But in the end, he tries to mend his ways and join Triss before Triss shot him and got revenge. The end. You guys should know this stuff. Come on, video game. The video game, Max drew the original, and then I finished it. So, yeah, we call it Super Faction Fighter 5.
Super Faction Fighter 5 is based on Super Street Fighter, and this is also taking part during the initiation, where the initiates have to fight each other, and Peter is beats up Triss pretty often. These are the characters
So you
and
can
the stats that you can play as.
But the blue stat is AI, but that doesn't have to do anything unless you're playing against them, because they're computer generated.
Characters you can play as are Al, Triss, Tobias, Christina, Peter, and many more.
Yeah. Al is supposed to be a tank. He's really slow, really dumb, but he's strong. He's strong and he can take a lot of hits. Triss is supposed to be well-rounded. So is 4. Christina is supposed to be kind of weak, and Peter is supposed to be well-rounded too.
Tadish, just go to the next one. Amusement ride. Quit asking me. You guys should have had your list here.
This is the part that was the villain at the Shadow, Janine Matthews, and she took over the Dauntless. Well, that was the part when they were attacking abnegation, when Janine put them all, when they were all affected by the serum, so they were attacking abnegation.
My knee and my ear hurts. Why your ear? I don't know.
The comic was a two-part.
The birthday part was not this one.
Go up. That's the second part.
The award.
What's the award for? Look, it's very top. It's very top. Just very top. No,
Award.
under home, right under home. On the left side.
Award.
Go to the award.
Oh,
In first position, Beatrice Pryor.
Thank you. This is a really special day for me that I am here on the stage, now thinking that my doubts were gone about being one of the factions instead of being part of your faction, the mighty, courageous Dauntless. All of the friends that I have made here have helped me to forget my home of the selflessness, where I get to barely talk at the dinner table, and taking a huge flight of stairs instead of elevators. And I wasn't even allowed to see how I look in the mirror. My initiation here has been fun. I've had my first taste of freedom. I got tattoos, and now I know how to protect myself from danger in different situations like combat and a gunfight. In conclusion, I would like to thank the council members, Ford, Christina, Will, and Uriah. I hope I get to explore the rest of the world of the Dauntless, and that someday I will do greater things in my time here.
Newspaper.
New story. Newspaper. Vicious Dauntless initiated attack by Mason Einstein and Caleb Pryor. Last night, one of the Dauntless initiates, Edward, age 16, was stabbed with a butter knife. Many claim Peter Hayes has stabbed him. All medics are one. Him, all matter
Quit
are on
moving
it.
it while he's trying to read it.
Truthfire, another dauntless grunt, saved him from bleeding to death. But no less, he and his girlfriend will end up factionless. Another factionless, and less this attack. Factionless. This attack proves that the foolish dauntless are so obsessed with glory to hurt their own kind. So, the comics about how Triss had to fight for and how they had to break the computer to escape and get the data chip so they could stop the simulation.
And it's the replay.
So this is the combat scene. And then part 2 is more about how and then this is when they when he gets out the chip and he undoes the stimulation, and then that's when they plan to run. After saving Marcus and Caleb, they escape to Amity.